Welcome to this video on a resource management plan. After watching this video, you will be able to identify the program resource management activities and discuss the program resource management plan's development and execution. As a program manager, do you want to make sure that every resource in your program is leveraged to its fullest potential? The PMI's Standard for Program Management, 5th edition, presents the Program Resource Management Plan as the key solution. This crucial guide ensures that your resources are managed and optimally utilized throughout the program's lifecycle. A program resource management plan is not one size fits all. It should be customized to fit your organization's specific needs. It's a good idea to consider the components to include in your resource management plan for effective planning and management throughout the program lifecycle. Let's explore these components. The first component is resource identification and procurement. It involves identifying all necessary resources for the program and outlining how they will be acquired. For example, consider that your organization is planning an event. First, you can identify what you need for the event, such as a venue, catering, audiovisual equipment, and staff, and determine how to obtain these resources. Next, it is crucial to engage key stakeholders by defining their roles and responsibilities in supporting resource planning, management, and control. Knowing who's involved, such as event planners, caterers, technicians, and speakers, is essential. Defining their roles and keeping them informed is also a good idea. Then, assessing your resources' capacity and capability is essential to ensure they are sufficient for a successful program. For example, you verify that the catering company can handle the number of guests for the event. Next, resource allocation involves providing clear strategies for assigning resources to projects and ensuring they're available when needed. For example, it's best to allocate one team to manage venue setup, another to manage catering, another to oversee audiovisual setup, and so on. Then, ensure resource development and training by including plans for improving the skills program resources. You should document any training requirements. For example, if you're using new audiovisual equipment in your event, it's essential to provide training for your tech team on how to operate it. Next, create detailed timelines for when resources will be needed and used. You should coordinate with all key stakeholders to confirm the schedule. For example, you can create a timeline for venue setup, catering arrival, and event start times. The next component is resource utilization. You can set up ways to monitor resource use and prevent their overuse or underuse. For example, monitor food consumption to prevent shortages, and if there are any, communicate with the team to manage guest expectations. Setting up systems to track resource usage and availability is essential. You can include this information in the program communications management plan, such as maintaining equipment usage, logs, and food inventory. Another critical component is resource risk management. It involves identifying and assessing risks in resource management and creating strategies to handle potential issues and opportunities. For example, a backup plan is essential if a power outage affects audiovisual equipment. It is also crucial to establish criteria for assessing resource performance. You should document the quality assurance and control standards needed. For example, you checked whether the catering met quality expectations and whether the audiovisual equipment worked smoothly throughout the event. Lastly, document how to release resources when they're no longer needed. It would be best to build strategies for transitioning resources to other programs or projects. For example, you can document the process for returning rented equipment, cleaning up the venue, and releasing event staff from their duties. You've learned the core components of a resource management plan. Now, let us explore some essential tips to make your program resource management activity successful. Create a RACI matrix. RACI stands for Responsible, Accountable, Consulted, and Informed. Think of RACI as your team's game plan. Make a chart to show who's doing what and ensure everyone knows their role and is ready to play their part. Another best practice is open communication and keeping all team members updated. Everyone must know what's happening, so ensure that resource management updates are included in your communication plan. Next, having a resource breakdown structure helps you list what you need, how much it costs, where it's coming from, and when you need it. A resource breakdown structure keeps everything organized and easy to track. Another tip is the earned value technique. You can use earned value to check how your program is doing with costs and schedules. You can also identify specific key performance indicators or KPIs to measure how well you're managing resources. Think of KPIs as scorecards that show how well you're doing and where you can improve. Finally, a process for handling change requests must be in place. You can log, evaluate, and make recommendations if anything needs to be adjusted. It's like having a backup plan to keep everything running smoothly. In this video, you learned that the critical components of a program resource management plan include resource identification and procurement, stakeholder identification and engagement, resource capacity and capability planning, and resource allocation. It also involves resource development and training, scheduling, resource utilization, and tracking and reporting. A practical resource management plan includes resource risk management, performance, quality management, and resource release and transition. Some best practices and tips for ensuring the success of program resource management activities include the RACI matrix, communication, resource breakdown structure, earned value, identifying and measuring KPIs, and change management.